No, thank you very much. Friends of the media and of others, two things. The one is we have a multi-pronged approach. So I think what we articulated in the 8 points is that we seek to put pressure on, for example, the Ministry of Agriculture, because we see the Israeli ambassador using his social media and trying to engage with South African agricultural companies, claiming that, for example, Israel has these benefits to be linking with. And what we found from our research is that, in fact, Israel offers nothing new to the South African agricultural sector. We've also identified, for example, the academic boycott, which the minister has thrown his weight behind, but also we must make it very clear that the minister is not acting on his own personal wishes or dreams or anything like that. He's acting on the resolutions of the South African Communist Party, of the ANC, and in fact of the alliance in general, supported by various South African organizations. But we really see no benefit to having the Israeli embassy in our country for two reasons. Firstly is that as civil society, as various organizations here, we met with President Jacob Zuma last year, where he explained to us that the South African government is going to try to engage with the Israeli government. But since last year to now, there's been absolutely no forthcoming response by the Israeli government. If anything, the attacks on the Palestinian people, the increase in settlements, their occupation have been tenfold since last year to now. The Israeli government is proving to both the South African government, to the USA, to the United Nations, that it's not interested in dialogue. And so we have no reason to have them here if they don't want to find a peaceful resolution. We must then take heed from our own experience, where the boycott, divestment, and sanctions and the isolation of apartheid South Africa brought the necessary conditions to bring the apartheid government to the negotiating table. So we have to force the Israeli government to come to the negotiating table, and we want, what would be best actually is not for the South African government to expel the Israeli ambassador, but for the Israeli ambassador himself. And we are more than willing, Comrade Soli, to sponsor that ticket. We'll sponsor that ticket. He must pack his own bags, go back home and sort out the issues there. The illegal occupation must be his first priority. But the second reason why we don't need an Israeli embassy here until it becomes a peaceful country is that we have many of the skills here locally in South Africa. For example, we've identified, or the ANC in fact, has identified G4S Security, which is complicit in the Israeli occupation. There's no reason why local black-owned businesses can't benefit from those security companies. Why must those contracts go to an international multinational corporation based in the UK? There's no reason, for example, why Bell, which is a local manufacturer of construction equipment, shouldn't benefit from South African construction tenders. There's no reason why Caterpillar should be afforded these contracts. Caterpillar is a company involved in the illegal Israeli settlements and in the destruction of Palestinian homes. So we're really urging members of the media to engage with us on the 8 points that we have outlined. Each one was very much thought through, from the expulsion of the Israeli ambassador to the academic boycott to the isolation of certain international companies that are doing business here locally in South Africa. Yes, we don't welcome the denial of a visa, but what it has proven and what it has put out on the table is the Israeli regimes, the Israeli government's non-committal to peaceful dialogue. And so, indeed, in many ways, we are reaching a tipping point, both here locally in South Africa, but also internationally.